green with vision. For vision, more fine lace, you can still bring your stuff. Yeah. This big giant's talking New York with a skyline bleeds. Basketball dreams in the football seas. Got a mic in the hand and a vision that feeds. In the fantasy realms where the ghost dog leads. He's a shadow on the court and a phantom on the field. Timberland stomping, truth never concealed. Got my podcast lit, each story revealed. Talk Ryan legends and hoops that appeal.
Yeah, it's GhostDog here at GhostDog's Big Talk, where I talk big like a giant. Pay attention as I break down the science. Doing football mathematics like an ancient Mayan. Yes, oh yes. Lord, oh Lord. 3-0 to finish out the preseason. The final preseason game against the Patriots. Straight belt all the way to ass. You feel me? Oh Lord, and I get it. Oh, you gonna say GhostDog, it's the preseason. Preseason Hulk Hogan's. Shouts out to Pat. Big Pat from Big Pat Sports Talk. Make sure you go subscribe over there. Absolutely, man. I hear you. I feel you. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get you, Giants faithful. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing y'all. We got to pump the brakes a little bit. It is preseason. However, I just want to let the haters, the doubters, the naysayers, dare I say, even the blasphemers. Because you know what? If we didn't go 3-0 and the numbers was reversed and we went 0-3, oh Lord, the shit that will be popping off within our division rivals. Okay? So I don't want to hear none of that stuff. However, I'm talking to the Giants fans. I'm listening. Yes, we got to pump the brakes just a little bit. Even though I got to say, man, we got to revel a little bit in this, this positive energy, this aura, if you will. We haven't had this in a long time. We haven't seen a quarterback with this much potential right now from what I'm seeing on the field. And I get it. He's going against vanilla defenses and all that stuff. We understand the parameters, the details, if you will, the nuances of preseason. But man, listen, I can't sit here and act like I ain't liking what I'm seeing from this young man. He's just making it look easy, man. Especially with that pass to Olszewski, stepping into the pocket, making that throw. Big yardage, big gain. To just top it off with the pass touchdown with the layer throw between the defenders to Greg Dulcich. And let me tell you something about that Dulcich dude, man. Yo, he's in the spot on this team. And I get it. He's more of a receiving tight end. Listen, he has been getting busy this preseason. Absolutely has earned a spot. However, that's a conversation for a little bit later because we're going to get into the details about the tight ends. Right now, we're talking about the elephant in the room, New Jack City Dart. Make no mistake about it. Had a little bit of a scare. Slide, young man. Slide. Can't have no issues with no concussions. We've had quarterbacks in the building. We ain't gonna mention no names that have had those issues. We don't need those situations here. Neck problems included. You feel me? Took him to the tent. I believe it was intentional. It was, people were scared on the sideline. You feel me? A little nervous, right? And even Coach Dabo was like, listen, young man, slide. Had to put the two hands on him. Slide. Okay? Please. Simple, After that, Jameis, finished off with a nice touchdown pass to Hyatt. And thank God he did, man, because, oh, man, I'm going to be honest with you. This is Hyatt's last year here, man. It is prove it or lose it, make it or break it, whatever you want to say real quick, because I need to go on this tangent. We're going to get back to New Jack City Dart. Make no mistake. It's just with the situations, with the two drop passes, and it was in your hands. That second one was a little rough. That first one, though, there was no excuse. And, I'm just not that impressed with you making a play on Mr. Irrelevant. of the 2025 draft year, if I'm not mistaken. You feel me? So great that he was able to get that touchdown. Great that Jameis Winston was able to finish that drive strong after the New Jack City Dart scare. Just, oh man, I want to see more out of that young man, because, you know, there was some cuts today, and Montreal Washington was among them, and he was making noise. You know, Hyatt wasn't really doing much. So, little teaser for the conversation for later. However, going back to New Jack City Dart, finished the game for 6 completions for 12 attempts, 81 yards, 1 touchdown, QBR of 99.7. He ends up finishing the preseason as a whole with 32 completions for 47 attempts, a 68% completion rating, 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and with a QBR of 113. So absolutely, Giants fans, we should be excited for this young man. And, you know, and I get it, preseason, but, you know, we got to let him, you know, we got to let him cook. Put him in the slow cooker. You feel me? Low and slow. Let him sit. I don't want him starting until we already out of playoffs late in the season. You know? So, oh man, just the potential. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, going to Jameis Winston, had a nice little performance, but for the most part, who would end up finishing the game is Tommy DeVito. Man, did Tommy DeVito show out. Just to read off his numbers, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns with a QBR of 147. Okay? Now, they're going to let him go because I don't see us going into the season with 4 quarterbacks. Obviously, Russ is going to be the starter. I think Jameis Winston will be the backup. You know what I'm saying? And to the people out there talking about let's trade Winston, let's have Dart be the backup and possibly start over Russ, pump the brakes, man. I'm just tired of the nonsense. Listen, the energy was crazy out there on the sidelines. There was some heavy action going on the sidelines right after the action that happened on the field. Jameis Winston is a huge part of that. So stop it. Okay? He's not going nowhere. And thank God the co-GM Brown said what he said at the podium the other day. Because, yo, fam, why would you want to ruin a good thing? Why would you want to be a party pooper? Straight shutting it down. Like, you turn on the lights, stop the music, record scratching, all that. Stop it, man. Like, yo, watching neighbors do the chest bump with Dart, you know what I mean? Excited on that sideline from end zone to end zone on that sideline. It was crazy. It was like a party going on between them players. So, Jameis Winston is here to stay for the year. We got him for next year. I see Russ leaving or retiring after this year, possibly. Who knows? Maybe he'll get a contract next year, depending on how he performs this year. So, man. Let him. We definitely not going to the season with 4 quarterbacks. Tommy DeVito. I don't know if they decide to put him, cut him and wait for the waivers to clear. To be honest with you, he might not clear him. I think he's proven his case that he's a very capable backup at this point in his career. Got a couple years under his belt. Definitely showed out, in this game. Proved his case that, he's worth something in this league. So who knows, with the situation going on in the Saints, give it time with the Colts. So will he clear waivers? Probably. Will he be on the practice squad? More than likely, but there's always that chance. You know what I'm saying? So, however, I do not see us going into the season with 4 quarterbacks. So those are my 3 as far as the quarterback position is concerned. However, going into these running backs a little bit, Turbo Miller will absolutely not clear waivers. Okay? Point blank, period. And quite frankly, I get it. Singletary, the nepotism, the connection with Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. Oh, hate that nonsense. Can't wait for Blown Gasket to be up out of here sooner rather than later, but I understand he's going to be here for at least another season. So Eric Gray, the Ward kid, bye-bye, you're gone. Unfortunate. Turbo Miller needs to be on this team, however. My three guys is Tracy, Scatterbo, Miller. Y'all figure it out if y'all really want Singletary in there, Brian Daboll. That's how I feel. He will not clear waivers. Speaking of that, a little bit going into the tight end situation here, talking about clearing waivers, we got to be careful with Fedone. Okay, I get it, late round pick, but he was doing things. He should have had 2 touchdowns. Okay, making contested catches, showing physicality. So we got to be careful with Fedone as well. However, maybe going into the season with 4 tight ends, because right now it's Theo Johnson, Dulcich, right? Fedone and Manhurts. And we also got Daniel Bellinger. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, Giants faithful, the Big Blue Familia, I think it's time to let Belly go. I think his time is up here. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because it sucks. It's just weird. After that eye injury, he just wasn't the same. So, yeah, will we go into the season with 4 tight ends? I don't know. We might not. It might be a 3-man situation. So, do you run the risk of, cutting Fedone and just putting on the practice squad, hoping he clears the waivers? I don't know. I don't think that's a risk worth taking. So, Manhurts, Bellinger, yeah, man, it might be time to say goodbye. No nonsense. I mean, maybe they could squeeze in 4 tight ends. Who knows? We'll see come roster cut date. Yeah, no. However, talking about possible roster cuts and making this team, Bo Collins is another name that absolutely, for me, has earned the right on this team, earned his spot. It just whoever was throwing him the ball was just no issue. So, Bo Collins, pay attention. I see him making this 53-man roster, absolutely. That being the case, man, dropped a 40 burger on him. We don't even need to get into the details of the Tommy DeVito situation. I do know that a Ward kid had the 1 touchdown. However, we'll talk about that because he's not even on the team right now. As of this recording, some of the roster cuts have already been in process. So let's just jump over to the defense here a little bit. Just absolutely consistent. There were some times there, though, where the run just got a little bit too crazy, got away from them. We gotta tighten that up. Because the run game the run defense, so fundamental. And we're going to get into that. However, just a little quick call out here. TJ Moore, just great pick. Bringing it back for the touchdown, pick 6. Just unfortunate with the leg injury, man. Just, you hate to see that type of stuff, man. Especially after the game he was having. Just, big ups to that young man. I hope he gets healthy. Hopefully we can stash him. Maybe, for next year, he could be a depth piece. Because, we know here at the Giants, we can never have enough CBs. Because that's a whole nother conversation right there. And, shouts out to Flop. Banks better be careful. Because Flop was doing things. So there's going to be a situation there to be paying attention to going through the season. However, again, prayers up for that young man, TJ Moore. I hope he gets healthy. Absolutely, man. But going back to stopping the run, fundamental, especially given the division that we are in, okay? Cowboys is probably going to get back to getting busy with running the ball because they usually do. Their offensive line hasn't really taken that much of a backseat. They've always been good at replenishing those numbers in that positions, whether it be guard, tackle. So, they can have anybody back there. As long as the O-line is doing what they're supposed to do in the run, those holes are going to be there in those gaps where, anybody in that running back position is going to be able to take advantage of that. So that's one thing. Another thing is the Eagles. Come on, number 26. Do we even need to really get into that? best O-line in the league as well. So run defense is going to be so fundamental, so major key throughout the season. And don't fall asleep on the Commanders, because we all know that Daniels can scramble. Okay, they did get rid of Brian Robinson in the trade to the 49ers. Pay attention to that for the fantasy situation. Okay, however, they got Rodriguez over there. Okay, he can do some things, as well as Ja'Cory Merritt. And old man Eckler can get busy, especially out the backfield in the screen game. So the run defense is going to be major, major, major key. Dexter Lawrence cannot be the only person that stops the run on that field. Okay? Somebody has to step up. I don't know if it's Roches, his old ass. I don't know if it's Jordan Riley, maybe Darius, hopefully Darius Alexander. I'm banking, and I get that's what it is. And shouts out to Shakes, because he said it the other day. That's what it is. It's really, I'm banking on this defense, not just Darius Alexander, but as this defense as a whole, to kind of get it together and fix those leaky situations, because I think this defense has major potential, top 10 defensive potential, easily. So that's what I'm really banking on. I get the concerns. Some people are doubting this Giants team. Let them sleep, I say. You know what I'm saying? I would rather they do, honestly, especially the media people. Can't stand them dudes. They over here starting to flip the script on us. Nah. Go that away. Where I know you from? Elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So keep the doubt there. And, I get some of the fans have the doubt. However, I feel like this defense is going to get, as the weeks go on, it's just going to get better and better until it's full steam ahead. Look, Russ is going to be the starter. A couple things also on our offensive line that we have to concern, particularly up the middle, that we have concern about as well, within that guard center position. Hopefully, it can hold up. The situation with Andrew Thomas comes up as well. I'm not too concerned. Marcus Bowe looks more than ready to be able to fill in if need be. I just have confidence. And there's just something about the energy in the building. I'm telling you, man. I haven't seen that sideline that crazy in a long time, bro. Just a long time. And I think it is so dope, bro. Oh, man, it feels good to be a Giants fan, bro. It's like finally the clouds are just starting to part, and you're just starting to see the rays of sunshine, man. But we have to be patient. We have to just coast. Let the momentum build up as Giants fans, because we're going to be there soon. We going to be there real soon. I see it. We just got to let it slow cook, low and slow. Hopefully Brian Daboll can check his ego. Hopefully he can continue to let Kafka call the plays. I just want Russ to be able to shine. Hopefully he can. I do not want Dart to be rushed. Who knows? Maybe we can make a playoff push. Crazy, I know. Just a year ago, we were 3-14. This year, however, am I crazy for saying that the potential is just almost sky the limit? Maybe I'm jumping out the window a little too much. Who knows? Oh, man, but you love to see it as a Giants fan, though. Preseason or not. However, that was my Game 3 preseason wrap-up. Man, just so much to look forward to. Week 1 cannot come soon enough. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, ain't nobody scared over here is all I got to say to the Commanders fans. Bunch of commies. Yeah, man, but stay tuned to the Tap In Tuesdays. I know I missed this week. My apologies to the Aboriginal Sports faithful. But stay tuned over there. I'll leave the link For the people looking at my channel that stumble upon it, to go check out the Aboriginal Sports Network channel. I got my Tap In Tuesdays over here, but pay attention over here as well. Gonna have some more Giants content. We'll have some Spurs content coming soon. Pay attention for that as well. Spurs fan over here is looking real crazy in San Antonio. Let me tell you. Yeah, man. Just, if you like the way I spit on the mic, just make sure you smash that like. If you feel the vibe, hit the subscribe. You know what I mean? That being the case, stay tuned. Stay tuned for future content. And I'm going to give y'all a big blue salute. And peace.
From the shadows of MetLife to Mike's last track, GhostDog repping Big Blue, never looking back. Podcast sales, that's deep in the fog. Gridiron echoes follow the phantom dog. Jersey glows under moonless skies. Fades with the beat, but never truly dies. He barks once loud, a New York anthem blast. That vanishes like stories from podcast past.
This is a GhostDog mixtape original.